welcome in. And before I start the video, I'll say this one thing. I did record this yesterday, edited it, all that, but it turns out this list was missing a few characters, so I added them myself, like White Fox, they weren't here before. Deadpool, they weren't here before. And I also added Widow for the joke, and also Gambit they didn't add. Now, getting straight into the video, I just want to say I would be heavily grateful if you became a member. Would definitely push me to make more content, more stylized, if that makes sense, more in my style. And you'll get exclusive videos, but now getting into this video and the tier list. White Fox, I think when she got first added to the game, she was pretty mid. I know she was good against certain dives, especially with the higher skilled White Foxes, but she had little sustain to at all. She could barely survive any dives if she didn't get the upper hand. She could never play on the back foot like other supports could. With her newer changes though, I do think that knocks her up a tier. She has more sustainability. Her aim though is very bad in intense situations. You can't really aim with it with how slow it is and how people need to move and not stand still. If your teammates are standing still while they're in the front line or in a hectic situation, that's a them problem. Her ult can also be CC'd, pushed, stunned, and just be useless with how many CCs there are, with how many grabs there are. Hulk can just like combo her for an infinite amount of time, getting rid of her out of the battle. Her ult, if her ult isn't touched, I would say it's on the upper side, if not mid support ults. But if there's any CCs in the game, I mean, whenever I play Luna, I just freeze her constantly. I remember Luna's on my team. I was Loki. My Luna froze her. I copied Luna, did Luna ult and everything. Then froze White Fox just as she got out of her ult again. So she was stunned for a while. And that's like over half her ult right there. Adam D tier, he's still not good in double support even after the changes. They're very good changes, don't like get me wrong. Being able to fly, being able to hover for a little bit, they're good. Just not really what his main problem was. His main problem was his healing amount and how fast he gets it. They did do some quality of life, like the 1 second off his headshots and his right click also, but he's still horrible in double support, especially with how people's positionings are in this game. I'll get more into it in Ultron, but just people's positionings in this game is horrible, especially even in higher ranks. I mean, Luna Snow, I would say she's C tier. She's not really that good right now. She is horrible against diving, especially since it's a dive meta right now and a brawl meta. If she doesn't have her snowball, she's pretty much dead. Sure, she can self snowflake and heal someone on her team, but that's really it. And even then, most dives can burst through, since I think it's only like a 20% healing thing to them to her. Cloak and Dagger is A tier. I don't get why people say she's S tier. Sure, her ult is probably the best in the game right now, even over Gambit in my opinion. It is a super good, but it also has so many counters for that good. I would say if they nerfed her ult by 2 seconds like they did Luna, she would instantly be A or B tier in most people's minds. If her ult was like Luna or like Invis, she would not be where she is in people's minds right now. Sure, the double blanket for the harming is good, but you can't constantly use that. And her this base healing is just bad. You'll never sustain a 1v1 fight with her healing alone. She is heavily lifted up by her abilities. That's why they're on such short cooldowns compared to the rest of the supports, which even then, Spider-Man can get 2 web swings back, I believe even 2 uppercuts back by the time she gets her bubble back. Rocket, he's a hard one because Phoenix right now is still running rampant, which can just instantly delete his ult. Any high damage really could just destroy his ult, and with how much damage there is in the game, I mean, Punisher shotgun can just obliterate it, Punisher ult can obliterate it, Phoenix ult can obliterate it, Hela can obliterate it, Moon Knight ult can obliterate it, a team focusing it could obliterate it. And you might say let's put it behind a wall or something. Well, that heavily limits the range, and there's not very much opportunities with that in certain maps. I would say he's worse than Luna because he is very vulnerable to dive as well. Good luck surviving more than 3 seconds against a good Daredevil. Jeff, I feel like he is probably better than White. Actually, purely on dive meta right now. If there wasn't a dive meta, it would be this. But since there is a dive meta, I would do this. Jeff, he has very good sustained healing alongside his potential with his ult. There's no other support ult which you can potentially get 6 people very cleanly. Sure, with Ultron you can, but that's going to be near impossible with how tanky the tanks are. I believe with the full rounds in this ult, you can kill 1 tank's worth of health. So it's not really that good for doing that, but with Jeff's ult, there's very high potential to get a lot of value out of it. Alongside his bubbles being more sustained, healing amplified, his swim, which if he had infinite swim, still, he would be A tier. But since he doesn't, he's B tier right now. Ultron, I do believe he's a lot better than people think after playing him, especially in double support. I thought he was only good in triple support, but no, he's very good in double support. I played 5 games of Ultron in comp the other day, and I went 3-5 as him. Granted, one of the losses was a thrower the entire match, like soft throwing. Everyone reported him, everyone knew he was throwing. And then the other match was a hold. mess of stuff. We were triple support again, and I chose Ultron because I originally chose Loki because I wanted to play him, but my teammates chose 2 supports, so I was like, okay, let me go Ultron. Played him, we were doing pretty good for a while, and then they switched off triple, left us with an Ultron without telling the team, double support Ultron, and then we heavily just kind of fizzled out from there. But even then, we still held very good pressure, we weren't getting dominated, and I would actually say Ultron right now, even though there's a Spidey, and even though there's a BP that can easily wipe him off the map, I do believe he's actually better than Rocket right now. Rocket's wall crawling nerf of 2 meters actually did make a difference in my opinion. It was severely unneeded, but it did happen. But I would say not better than Luna, simply because of how vulnerable the air is and how strong Hela and Phoenix are. And especially with how strong Punisher is in his ult. Invis, this is another character which I think is a lot more balanced than a lot of people think. She is not nearly meta, especially after her self-shield healing went from 50 to 15. I think she's either A or high B tier right now. She is very good. She does pack a lot of damage. Her shield is more like a frisbee though now. I do think she's definitely better than White Fox. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll put her right behind Cloak and Dagger. I feel like that's a good place for her. She is very strong. Well, not very strong, but she is strong. She is solid. But with her self-healing being put into her invisible state, with Daredevil being in the game, which can instantly knock her out, with brawls, which have big hitboxes, which can easily take her out of it. I mean, Iron Fist can just track her while she's invisible, with us punching. With everything going on right now with the dive meta, with her self-sustain being worse than season by season, she's at best A tier in my opinion. Anyone saying S tier still living in the past. Loki, I believe, is S tier. He does have a lot of counters in the game, like I said in a video before, but some I missed was like, if Luna places a snowflake on her teammate and the teammate destroys in a Loki illusion, Luna still gets about 2 seconds off her clapper, maybe 4, but that shouldn't happen. Iron Man also gets plus 2 seconds off of his overdrive by killing a Loki illusion, etc. There's about 90% of the cast has a counter to Loki, but I still believe his burst healing is so good right now. He has no good sustain healing because I think it takes a 1 second break between each burst, but if you have like a sustained character, let's say a Cloak and Dagger or a Rocket, to fill in those gaps, and you have his burst, I mean, you're set for life right now. Again, there's like several other factors to team fights, but Loki right now is S tier purely based on his burst ability. His ult is also pretty good. You can copy anybody, but you can also mess it up. Mantis, I think good Mantises are definitely S tier, but I would say most of them are probably the very low A tier, if not high B. I don't think they're on the level as a White Fox or a Jeff though. I do think they are better. Heal Pool, even that's a Deadpool, you know, DPS thing. Heal Pool I think is a lot better than people think. He does have very good sustain. His ult is the thing holding him back, but it can reach up to an Invisible Woman ult. It is a very attacky ult. I would put him very low B tier. He does get his ult very quickly at the very beginning, which is very good, but it is on a 1 minute cooldown, which other supports can probably get their ults 2 times before it actually pops again. But again, he can also get his ult like in 2 seconds if played right, or even less than 2 seconds. He can also have 2 separate ults, which is very good, and upgrade that by doing 5 swings with his swords, or right clicks, whatever you want to say. And overall, his right clicks, when you upgrade it, has very good sustain. Again, he has very bad primary healing, but his kit heavily lifts him up, kind of like Cloak and Dagger. But I would say he's put here. He does have more sustain than a lot of supports in the game right now, but his ult is holding him back. If he had an ult like a Luna ult or Invis ult, he would definitely probably be A tier. Now, you might be asking Widow, why is she in here? It's because Widow can heal with her Phoenix team up, and guess what? She can heal more than Adam, at least more consistently. She heals more than Rocket per burst, more than Ultron, more with Luna, I believe, even with her snowflake on someone, more than Deadpool's primary. I'm not sure about Jeff, more than White Fox's primary, more than Mantis's heal, more than Cloak and Daggers, and more than Loki without any illusions. So just for the memes, I'm gonna put her at S tier. Yeah, let's do that. Again, she's not a good healer. She has a very good CC, but it's a meme. It's a meme. Gambit, I do believe, is still probably #1 with his ult potential and how high the DPS are in this game. And I'm just gonna do that just for clarity. But Gambit, I do believe, is still the best because how high DPS are in the game. Imagine a shotgun Punisher just holding W at you with a shotgun. Yeah, that's horrible with Gambit ult. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this tier list right now. I want to know what you think of the balancing, what you would change here. Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. See ya.